Let's set the scene. President Ross Morrison is presenting to the United Nations to get our country, EMMR, officially recognized by this global body. Bump, bump, bump.
Distinguished members of the UN, I stand before you today asking for recognition for my country, EMMR. Our country was started 100 years ago as a response to the corruption in the 19th century America. We respond to the corruption and action of the various presidential administrations, such as the Arthur Cleveland and Harrison administrations, as well as the class division and monopolization felt by the rapid industrialization. Our idea finally came to fruition with the presidential election of 1896, in which William Jennings Bryan lost, despite vast popular opinion. We came by our island when the United States won the Spanish-American War in 1898, and McKinley was willing to give us the island in exchange for us to leave the country with our modern ideals. For the last 100 years, we spent it in complete isolation, perfecting various technologies of which my Secretary of Energy, Michael, will now discuss. Thank you.
EMMR is a small island in the Pacific Ocean, located here. The population of our island is roughly 3 million, with a moderately temperate climate, which supports both urban and suburban lifestyles. The port cities are the main hubs of trade. The waters around our island are filled with fish. The fish that surround our island include salmon, sardines, snapper, swordfish, tuna, and varying types of shellfish, including mussels.
Thank you, Ross, Mr. President, sir. I am the Secretary of Energy Solutions, Michael Chavon, that's me. In MMMR, we focus a lot on clean energy and making use of our natural resources. We put a large emphasis on wind power because there's lots of high winds over the oceans near our country. We also rely on ocean solar power. And finally, in our 100-year isolation, we have perfected fusion power. Fusion power is used not only for energy, but also to distill the salt water surrounding our island into drinkable water or water to be used for aquaponics and other sources or uses. Due to our emphasis on natural resources and natural energy, it only makes sense for us to put a heavy emphasis on electric cars. And so our main form of transportation around our island is electric vehicles to be most efficient. We also grow most of our food through hydroponics and aquaponics to make use of the most efficient space possible. Obviously we're on an island, so we have a limited amount of farmland, so hydroponics and vertical farming makes the most sense for our country. The country of MMR relies heavily on recycling, and we put a large emphasis in our community to recycle. Everything in day-to-day life is recyclable and sent to our recycling plants to be reused. Food waste is all composted to be made use of in our hydroponic towers to be as efficient as possible. And if you are found not to be recycling or to perhaps be dumping waste, heavy fines are given to you.
Thank you for that, Michael Chavon. Now I'll be talking about the education in MMR society. My name is Michael Rakovich, and I am the Secretary of Education in our society. Next slide, please. So, from the age of 3, all males and females will be sent into their first primary school, which is where they'll get their basic education. From there, and let me add that they will be living in this school for their whole lives. So at this point, once they're finished their primary school, they will then head to their secondary school, like, for example, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. In these grades, they will continue to learn basics, and all students will receive the exact same education, so there is no unfairness and everyone's treated the same. Yet again, they will be living with this group of kids and in these schools. Then from that point on, all students will get the choice to pick their field of interest and then take classes specific to that field. They will only focus on that field in that class, so that they are best suited for the job when they enter the world. Once the student leaves their specific school, which is from 4 to 8 years, they will be then employed to work in MMR society. Once each person hits the age of 65, most will become our teachers in society. These are our most valued and wise members of our society, as they are teaching the most important jobs and are the ones that will keep our society continuing and on the path that it is so strongly on. To the next point, next slide please, we've noticed that a big problem was going to be teen pregnancy. Since all these students were going to be living together from the age 3 to possibly, 20, 25, we don't know, depending on their special field, teen pregnancy obviously could have been a problem. Because of this, all females at the age of 10 will receive a form of contraceptive that will keep them from getting pregnant. They will keep this contraceptive until they hit the age of 25, and then at this point it will be removed so that they can have kids for the society. That is all. Now we're going to hear from General Moore. Thank you.
Now, as the Secretary of Defense and Treasury, I will be talking about our incredibly sophisticated defense systems. First, let's talk about our advanced missile defense system, which has been developed without any reliance on outside nations. This is key because it makes our missiles unique and incredibly hard to defend because no other nation has seen anything like it. Also, we have an advanced Navy, which is essential for our nation as we are surrounded by the largest ocean in the world, the Pacific. Serving in our military is a job that has lots of perks. Benefits to incentivize participation include early retirement and more days off throughout the year due to the incredibly strenuous work that can be experienced as a member of our military.
Go.
Hi, Max Moore here, back again, Secretary of Treasury and Defense. Talking about our economic structure. The main thing about our country that sort of sets us apart is our centralized system of wealth distribution. We have one standard income for all, or in other words, a universal basic income. And the money that is distributed equally to our citizens can be spent however they so please. All are paid the exact same, and this system of wealth distribution eliminates social issues that stem from wealth and widespread poverty. We are extremely reliant on trade. Our main export is fish, and the way we efficiently process the entire animal allows us to make a lot of money, sort of selling the fish that we farm around our island. Our main import is other countries' waste, which we process much more efficiently than other nations. And we also sell our excess energy that we produce on our wind and solar farms. Another source of income that we have is comes from our major centralized banking system, which encourages foreign investment in our stable and reliable economy. Our fiat money allows the currency value to fluctuate based on demand.
I'll be talking about our political structure. I am voted, as well as the Council of Four, who are heads of the 4 main departments of government. We are voted directly from the people through cell phones secured by Face ID. The Secretary of Defense controls all of our military as well as our civil disputes, so he controls the police force. The Secretary of Energy also controls our trade and all of our industry. The Secretary of Education worries about the upbringing and the future of our industries. I manage everything and make sure everything is running smoothly on a day-to-day basis. Any major government decisions are put up for a referendum by the people. Distinguished members of this great body, I stand before you today, much as other great leaders have in the past, asking for my country to be accepted on the world stage. We have lived in isolation for 100 years, and we believe we will contribute to the world society as a whole. Thank you.